What's up? What's up, everybody? It is episode 19 of Planet Xbox, and yesterday we are a day late. I know last week I said that we were going to start going on Wednesdays in November. Yesterday it was crazy. Being a adult sucks. So I had to move it today. We may start starting on Wednesdays pretty soon, but for some reason, I think Wednesdays. We might kick off Wednesdays. I'll probably finalize sometime next week. We'll know before the podcast airs, but I know for a fact, starting November, Wednesdays will work best for us around the 8 o'clock time frame, if that's okay. But now that's out the way, I am your host, Kid Smooth, aka the best spot, and I do have my co-host here, Attic. What's up?
Nothing much, man. Just got through playing Shadow of War. Hashtag don't kill me.
Good. I'm looking forward to hear your thoughts on that. And of course, we got a name change in here, formerly known as Jez. And you're going by what now?
No, you can still call me Jez, but I'm Jez7780 on Twitter. But I've changed my my handle to Grinds My Gears.
Grinds My Gears.
Yes.
Awesome. You know what? I get that. Is that because you say right before you're about to start bashing Xbox, you say what grinds your gears?
Well, yeah, something like that. But yeah, and I also changed my profile face from the Chewbacca to Angry Conker.
I actually like the image change.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Apologize for the low viewer count today. I don't think anybody thought we were going live this week at all. That's due to my fault for not really sharing when we will be replacing. I just said we weren't going live yesterday. And we got a guest here I don't know what to call you, but I'm sure you're going to elaborate.
Well, it's Craig Harris. You can just call me Craig, but I'm also known as the Pope of Xbox.
Okay, the Pope of Xbox. Now I know you. I don't know if it was you or somebody inquired about having you on, and I wasn't ducking you or anything like that. I just had like a schedule of people I already had set to be on for the rest of that week. But happy to have you here. And before we get into the show, you call yourself the Pope of Xbox, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna need you to explain that, and I'm gonna need you to explain that for those watching now and for those who may catch this on later as it's recorded onto the channel. What do you mean by Pope of Xbox, and why you decide to give your name that?
Well, of course, Jerry, and thank you for the vine.
Hey, please call me Kid Smooth. Smooth or Kid Smooth?
I'm sorry.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Smooth, Kid Smooth. I'm sorry there. A big shout out to one of your panel members. I don't see him here. Is a Psycho Gamer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been interacting with him for a time. Nice guy. So big shout out to him. Well, I was contacted one day. I was playing on the Xbox. I have an Xbox One S, and I forgot what I was playing, but people from all around the world were contacting me saying that they were tired of these Xbox podcasts where the people were just outright lying. You know, they didn't feel like it was good representation, that most of them are just getting their games or playing, so they said, so somebody contacted me on the Twitter machine here, and they said, you've been doing nothing. I have a podcast. It's small, but it's fierce. I pride the people that listen to me to be the smartest gamers. Just get your information, and then, you leave. And so they asked, one of them said, this is why you're the Pope, because you're telling the truth. And that's all we want people to do. And again, 95% of the Xbox community is just, everybody sees them. They go to the store, they buy their games, they go home. They're not online bitching and moaning about what something is, what it's not. It is what it is. Ride or walk, leave it or love it. That's what it's like being the Pope. You call out the BS when you see it. You here's your truth. Like it or love it. It's not that big a deal. It's not that hard. You do have some 5% front row riders though that have to be smacked around every once in a while.
So you're
so
like,
the Pope smacks people too.
Yes, my son.
Now, do you do all your like? Do you do all like your like enforcing on like YouTube, or you on Twitter, or is it just really Twitter that you be like making noise? Like, I'm just curious.
Well, I'm on Twitter. I go on YouTube. You just bring the truth. Just like I just saw, isn't Xbox releasing a like a mouse and keyboard? I just popped up on Newegg.
I saw that.
Is it at the end of this month? Okay, I told that last year. I knew that last year. As Pope, again, I'm just going to bring the truth. Of course, I got laughed at and mocked, but it is what it is. So, I think it's going on sale. You said, was it the end of this month or next month? I can't remember.
No, I saw something with a mouse. Maybe it was. No, what I think it has to do with the Surface book. I don't know if it was Xbox branded.
Okay, well we can look. I think it was on Newegg, but that's been in the works. Just like they canceled their VR system for Xbox during development.
Oh man, Kitty's getting me started. I know. I agree. I think that's some bullshit.
Yeah, they canceled it to keep the price down, which for consumers is good. I'm pretty sure we all want affordable things, and I think eventually they'll get to VR. People are like they're abandoning it. No, they're not. They're waiting for a little, for more people to jump into the market. Which
they were never making a VR though.
Originally they were. It was going to be part of their system, but again, I'm not knocking them. They saw the production costs. And they backed away from it, which is fine. They farmed it out. Aren't there like one or two devices that are supposed to be compatible?
Yeah, they're keeping it on PC. Actually, that's what they've been doing. But they did say last year that the Scorpio was supposed to support high fidelity VR.
Yeah,
and they dropped that.
Yeah, which again,
has it been confirmed that it's like completely dropped, or is it just going to be a later update?
Well, Phil said on, and I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago, and not to get on this whole bandwagon thing, but he did mention to Giant Bomb that he don't see that the console space is the place for VR right now. He says it should stay on PC. So they're not saying that the Xbox is never going to get it, but it's not in the foreseeable future for right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. It sounds like you're struggling to keep your emotions under control.
Oh yeah. That's grinds my gears.
All right, so guys, I've been out of the loop for it feels like for a while now, and Addict can address. I haven't really been in the parties as much or on my games. It's like, I don't know. But I'm starting to feel it. What the hell happened? What's the big news? I know Shadow of War release.
Is the host of the podcast seriously gonna just what happened?
No, I'm just curious. Like, I mean, I haven't even been as active on Twitter as I've been. Like I said, I got so much going on. But I didn't want to have like a canceled show for the week just because I got shit to do. Everybody has shit to do. But I haven't been keeping up as I was like, because work's been so like hectic and stressed out. So it's like I had to be like an adult and like stop worrying about Xbox and shit and
all right, so
worry about what's in front of you. So I need you guys' help.
There's the Shadow of War thing. Then we got this EA pretty much destroying my Dead Space 4 hopes and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got.
The Phil Spencer interview.
Yeah, which everybody
all
keeps
that drama, and then we also had Shannon Loftus interview. From,
all right, one at a time. Let's start with
listening. What happened?
Yeah, let's start with the Shadow of War, and I think Attic, you can lead with that since I'm assuming you're like I'm sure Jez, you got Shadow of War.
No, I did not. I didn't get Shadow of War.
All right,
I'm gonna wait for the price drop.
That plays games apparently. No, I'm just playing with you guys.
All right, talk about Shadow of War.
I mean, Shadow of War. I already had people in the comment section saying don't spoil anything.
Sure.
My beef for the whole people came at me last week for the Cuphead stuff where we went into detail about a lot of the bosses, and it's like. These are the same motherfuckers that be on YouTube watching people play and already spoiling the game themselves. And then when you go into this shit they see, now you spoil them too. But, you know, I digress. I'm not even going to argue about that. I technically should not have done that. But, you know, Shadow of War is a good game, man. It's an extremely good game. And it's a shame that they, you know, this game has potential to be like Game of the Year good. But the loot boxes fiasco, it really it tarnished the name. Like, it hurt it bad. And it's one of those things to where it doesn't matter how good of a game it is now, people won't pick it up just because of morals, like Black Bond. So, and you know, as regardless what you might seem to think, Black Bond's not the only person around here that will boycott a game over that. So, you know, it's just a shame. It's a really good game. Like, Shadow of War is the prime example of how to make a sequel.
Yeah,
they
I
took
heard you did say
foundation
that.
And they built on it. That's a prime example of how you make a sequel.
Yeah, and being out with Game Share, I played like, I want to say 5 minutes of it, and I was like, all right, I'll wait till the X to play the rest. Or if yeah, I'm one of those type of people. So I am withholding games to play right now for the X, but ain't like I had the time to play any of these games anyway due to the week I have ahead of me. So it's good. It'll feel like Christmas again. So
did you gaming? Did you beat the? So you got to the completed game, or what's that grind that they were saying? Because you know, there's a lot of stuff going around that there's a true.
I have not got that far yet. I'm pretty far into it, but like I have a problem when it comes to Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. Like, I just want to kill everyone. And like, I'll be sitting there and you know, they went into huge detail on this one. Like on the other one, for the most part, you would only see the captains if you ran into them. Make sense?
Yeah.
But on this one, the captains will pursue you. Okay. So, you know, I'm sitting here fighting. You know, one time you know, you can summon your own bodyguard. Like, you know, the original one, you know, War Chiefs had bodyguards, or you can get your own bodyguard. So I summoned my bodyguard, and a captain just grabs my bodyguard by his throat, puts a knife to his throat, and it's pretty much like, you let these kind of people in your army? I want to join it, but you won't let me in your army. I'm like, dude, this is not the way to be joining my shit, okay? Now I got to kill you.
That's very cool.
I mean, it's crazy, man. It is a really good game, and it's just a shame that they put that loot crate thing in there. And because I'm telling you, if that loot crate would not have been in there, everyone would be talking about this game right now.
Oh yeah, I mean that the loot crate, you know, so far within the last few weeks, I feel like just took over the conversation, and not in a good way. And if it's been spotted in a game, that game's going down.
Well, it seems like everything, like they did it with Forza, and now they're doing it with the Always Online now with GT Sport. It just seems like everybody's going after these gaming mechanisms, or these, like, rather than, like, you know, just giving this kind of spin to all these games that are coming out.
Yeah. Yeah,
and the part that like blows my mind is like, dude, like I can't even describe to you guys like the amount of stuff. Like, they took the Nemesis system and they're okay, we know what you guys don't like. We're gonna strip all that shit away, and we're gonna build on that and make the Nemesis system what you think. Like, it's crazy. I'm sure you guys seen the YouTube trailer about the dude who randomly just shows up and saves you sometimes.
Yeah, don't you have to buy him or something like that?
No, they gave him to everyone for free, or maybe it was a pre-order box. I don't know, but I'm sitting here literally about to get stomped. Like, this ogre is about to get me, and I'm sitting there because, you know, once you get hit and you get took down, you have one like last stand, and you know, I got jumped. And I'm sitting here. I know I'm about to take this L. Like, this dude, I was overwhelmed. So I'm sitting here waiting for this you know the slow motion kill cam that happens right before they kill you, and then that dude just shows up and beats the shit out of the dude who was about to kill me.
That's cool.
Yeah, sounds fun. I mean, cool. I hate that the whole loot crate fiasco has happened. I mean, it's good that people are aware of it, but it's unfortunate that it really steps on what looks to be a much improved game, like you were just talking about. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So
These loot crate things. I just think that yeah. So did you buy a loot crate like at all? Did you use one, or is it part of the game at all?
I mean, you can get in-game. Well, this is the thing that kills me. Is like when the loot crate fiasco is going on with Shadow of War. I wasn't pissed that they was in it. I was confused. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
what are they going to use for? Why do they need loot boxes? Like, why do you need loot boxes?
Yeah.
But like, first off, you can get everything in there in game currency. Like, you could buy every loot box in there with in-game currency. But like, I've been probably 10 hours. I have bought like the in-game currency loot boxes. I haven't bought the real money loot boxes. But I could totally, as long as you know how to manipulate the Nemesis system, you shouldn't need to, like, at all. Like, you can do stuff like sending death threats to someone that will raise his loot. Or, I mean, there's so many different ways that you can manipulate the Nemesis system to getting high-level alerts from the start.
All right, yeah, because that was the concern that I had, was that in the first game, the Nemesis system drove you to go after guys or have guys come after you, and then they would drop loot depending on, like, if they'll have arrows, like different random arrows that give you boosts and stuff. My whole thing was that if you didn't have to do that and you just open up a crate and then there's your loot, you don't even have to deal with the Nemesis system.
And the funny thing is, like, they it's just the Nemesis system. I can't even, like, I can't begin to want to really say how much they improved the Nemesis system. Like, it's not like, in the first one, how you had your warlords, your captains, and then now obviously, they showed the sieges and stuff in the trailers. Now you have overlords that's above the warlords. And it's just like, it gets so chaotic so quickly unless you know what you're doing.
Wow. Yeah, and you could mount a whole bunch of different things too. Yeah, it looks cool. There's too much stuff going on right now, so there's too many games, so I was going to wait for that. But I'm definitely going to get it. And I had the first one, and I played it almost to the end. I did like it.
When it comes down to it, man, like, I get it. I get people's frustrations with the loot box system, but it's like, I just vow that you look at what the loot box system is. It's not as blown out as people are making it out to be. Is it stupid that it's in there? Yeah, but it's like, said multiple times in multiple podcasts, I am not playing a game that I've been waiting for since the first one because they're gonna put some shady practices in it. I'm just not.
Yeah, I know. Like this.
Now, but Star Wars Battlefront, I think I will skip that one.
Oh, you see, now that's I want to play that.
Yeah, I want to play that too, but I really don't know what to say about that stuff. But another one that I guess the big news that I seen flash across by Twitter, and I think Jez, you mentioned it earlier, EA shutting down Visceral.
Yeah, Gaming Guy spoke about it, but yeah, they just shut down Visceral Studios. I think it was yesterday, and then they so that was the studio that was working on Amy Hennig was working on the project of the new Star Wars game. It was supposed to be a third person action adventure. I assume single player driven game that and Visceral is known for making the Dead Spaces and also Battlefield Hardline as well. So take that for what you think. And yeah, so unfortunately they shut down the studio and it can't. And they actually took the game and they are bringing it to another studio. They have another studio working on it that will be taking the game in a different direction. And everybody's thinking loot boxes and single player games are dead, and that's why they shut them down. But you never know why. I wouldn't say because it's a single player game that it's over, and that's the reason why that EA shut them down. But there could be just things. Amy Hennig did get she left from Naughty Dog, and she had some issues with the story there and the things like that. So maybe she couldn't get the story down, and the game was suffering in the direction. It was delaying it, and they wanted it out. So there could have been a number of things. They weren't specific, but they just shut down the studio and moved the game somewhere else. And it's unfortunate because they did make some good games. And Dead Space IP, I think EA still has it. Well, yeah, obviously they do. So maybe they'll just give it to somebody else to do.
Yeah, they were having some issues. I follow movies as well, and they were having some issues on that with the Star Wars game as far as could they canonize the story if it was just going to be single player. People were starting to get like, well, what are they doing? Disney wasn't 100% on board because, you know, they own that actual intellectual property. So it's not that Disney didn't want the game out there, and but I think it has something to do with EA just being brutal and like, no, we want multiplayer games that bring people back and back. And they actually do feel that single player games, they, besides their sports games that they're on, they don't really put a whole lot of emphasis on that anymore. They destroyed my favorite franchise, Mass Effect. So why I'm sad that they did this to Visceral. I certainly hope somebody else can resurrect it because I'm a big Star Wars fan as well. So I like to see where they're going with this. But it's unfortunate that EA, not a shock, but it is unfortunate EA did something like this again.
To be honest with you, did we really, do we not expect this? I mean, we really haven't heard anything coming out of Visual Studio when it comes to the Star Wars game. We haven't heard nothing about Dead Space in years. I mean, like,
their last game was Hardline.
Battlefield
right?
Hardline, yeah, it was Hardline.
And that is considered the worst Battlefield that's ever been made. It doesn't matter if they don't normally make first-person shooters. That was EA's fault for giving that assignment.
And it was funny is that I think that it had a good campaign story. Actually, I thought the campaign was actually pretty good. The story with the cop and stuff like that. Like, I think people did commend them for like, the single player is not too bad. And everybody's like, oh, it's because Visceral. They do single player type story narrative driven games. But the multiplayer was just not good. The whole game was not that good. But I remember the single player getting a little bit of a positive note to it. But yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, but EA is funny, like you said with the sports games now, is that they are putting story games inside the all their sports games, like these single player campaign stories. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
The funny thing about this whole thing is everyone is wanting to get on that Ubisoft grind. Have you realized Ubisoft has almost made every game they've made has been successful, and it's been a service game.
Yeah.
Like, literally, Ubisoft is the king of that shit right now. You have Rainbow Six Siege, you have For Honored. I mean, and they're announcing more games in the pipeline. And what's funny is Ubisoft is one of the companies that no one likes, but everyone's like, you know what? I can respect them because they're the only ones trying new shit. Like, look at For Honored. When's the last time? Well, look at Ubisoft in general. They literally try new games. They constantly throwing out new IPs. And they don't get enough credit for it.
Out too next year with the Pirate game.
Yeah,
Pirate game coming out.
What, Black Sea or whatever?
Yeah, Black Sea.
Yeah, they don't get enough credit for that, man. They don't.
Well, I will say this: they're now Ubi's E3 this past year. Most people, if I remember when that poll came up, and it's not scientific, but the kind of that shock poll that came up was they felt that Ubi had the best conference out of everybody, even including EA and then hell, even Microsoft and Sony. This Ubi themselves, that press conference was game after game after game. Need for Speed looked like something people would go buy. You all just mentioned the pirate game. So yeah, it's I don't disagree though. They started with Splinter Cell though, didn't they? Didn't they start with Splinter Cell?
They didn't do Need for Speed. They do maybe the Crew.
The Crew, yeah,
the Crew too. Yeah, right. Which that's pretty ambitious too. The first game, it's not that bad, but like
the funny thing about it is they don't have any huge license that these other companies get to work with, like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Like, they literally most of the time they have to make brand new IPs out of thin air.
Yeah. They do, and then everybody says it has like the Far Cry kind of mechanism, like and also Assassin's Creed, we have to climb the tower.
Yeah, that's the
thing.
I ain't gonna lie, almost all their games took some kind of influence out of that.
I'm interested in a new Far Cry. I want to see, because I was disappointed with Far Cry. What was it 4?
Primal.
Yeah. Oh, no, Primal.
I still haven't got past the title screen on Primal.
Okay. It wasn't that bad. It was at least different. The other one was just
the title screen was such a letdown, man. It didn't glow the right way. I had to get off of it.
Yeah, Far Cry 4 though was just that was a rinse and repeat though. The Himalayas 3 was actually amazing.
Wasn't it like the same map, the Far Cry 3, just different elevations?
Oh no, it was no, it was Primal was the same map as Far Cry 4 or something like that. Like they overlaid it.
It's little things like that, like using an entire map from a previous game and just changing elevations and shit. That's what really hurts companies like, respect in the community. Because I think they're the only people I've ever seen do that.
Well, like we just remap this,
They
repaint the map.
literally reused Far Cry 4's map and like the layout. Obviously, they changed stuff in it, but they literally used the Far Cry 4 map and redone the map and it made it Far Cry Primal's map. That's how they turned that game around so fast, because they
that was a quick release after
map.
it was a year after, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty quick. Like it was like the January or something like that it was pretty quick.
I don't know, for some reason I have a hard time playing Far Cry games. Not because I think it's hard. I get bored, really bored.
I do have a quick question for you guys. That I was getting in a little argument with some people. Do you guys think Cuphead has a chance of getting Game of the Year this year?
I do, and not because I think because of the Xbox. I think it's one of those games.
I think there's a good chance. Like I do think it's one of the top contenders right now.
I think it'll be nominated.
It'll be nominated. Zelda's getting it.
You got Zelda, or what about Zelda? Mario?
Like, don't get me wrong. Up until now, Zelda I thought had it for sure. But besides Zelda, it was the only game that I see the community come together for a game. That's what really counts when it comes to Game of the Year. Is the community, the gaming industry itself is playing this game constantly, because that's the one that normally gets it. Overwatch. I mean, Overwatch. Remember when The Walking Dead won Game of the Year?
Yeah. But I think it's going to be up between Zelda and Horizon.
No. Even though I like Horizon, but dude, no.
I don't think Horizon.
I think it'll be. I'll say Mario Odyssey and Zelda before I say Zelda and Horizon. I think Mario's gonna be in there. The Zelda game's gonna be there. I think Cuphead has a shot. And what else? Other game that came out this year that had
those are the only two games that I can see absolutely winning it. Like
I don't know. I just think Cuphead's a little too small. I mean, to those other games.
I'm telling you, like when it comes to Game of the Year, sometimes it don't matter how big it is. It matters what it's done.
Yeah.
Remember that girl that game was it she or her or something
Journey.
like that?
Journey won 1 year though. Journey won.
The same people in the comment section saying no, there's no way in hell are the same people that were saying Walking Dead had no chance of winning it.
Yeah,
and Journey won Game of the Year too. Didn't that win Game of the Year? And that was like
sometimes it's not game. Whether or not that game was better than the rest of the game. Sometimes it's what that game.
I can see it get art direction or like some sort of like artsy one.
I feel like when it comes to Game of the Year, it's usually the game that did the more for the industry that year, not necessarily the game that was the best.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why it can't win Game of the Year. Not all the games are out yet, though. But
I mean, look at Overwatch. Overwatch, there's a lot of people who didn't like Overwatch, a lot of people who did, but it's one of the biggest games that came out in probably the past 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot Overwatch won Game of the Year last year.
Yeah, it was a multiplayer only game, and people were like, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, because I remember some fanboys being salty that Uncharted 4 didn't win. But,
yeah, it won. Uncharted won some other stuff though. Didn't it?
Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 might have been the better game, but Overwatch had the better impact.
Yeah,
the biggest impact. Yeah.
Yeah, and Uncharted, like I said, it won several. I can't remember if it won voice. It won
like
something.
Voice acting and shit, writing. Yeah. I don't know.
I just saw Keeley present who's the judges. Let me see. I think it was Todd Howard and was that? Let me see. The panel. He just posted something just before about it. And we're using that gaming, like the gaming awards, right? That's who we're saying Game of the Year is? Yeah. Which,
despite
Cuphead, it was fun.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you know what? I didn't play it, so I can't really say. I'm just going by the scope of it. So that I'm just thinking that it might be up there as a contender, but I don't think it would win. I could see it win like art direction or something like that.
Yeah.
It just,
You
I
know,
think
winning that.
it really
It's the game of the
depends
year.
on what Mario Lost Odyssey does.
It's gonna be Zelda though. It's gonna be...
No, I don't. I think Zelda has a good chance of winning it, but don't sleep on Mario, man, because Zelda came out at the beginning of the year.
Think about
too. You gotta keep that
Cuphead.
in mind.
Cuphead is the new token game. These are the ones they're using Cuphead as the game to take away your gamer card now. You know, especially for Xbox fans. So if you're an Xbox fanboy, watch out. Cuphead's a token game. So if you haven't beaten Cuphead or purchased it, they're pulling your cards. Right.
Oh God! Yeah. Once again, the 5%ers speak again.
No, I'm getting hit every time somebody beats Cuphead.
Well, get best
tagged,
indie. Like, you know? I guess it'll be the indie group. What are the categories? I don't even know. Did he announce them?
I mean, to me, the main thing with Cuphead is that studio. My goodness, that studio. Those didn't like 2 or 3 of those guys have to mortgage their houses, and now they don't have to. That's a success. Now I saw the numbers, and somebody tweeted me some numbers, and I don't know if they're true. That it sold more on Steam than it did on Xbox. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just happy.
Well, the thing is, the word is that it sold
it sold over 1 million.
It's sold over $1 million, and if you Steam Spy, you can allegedly get the Steam downloads, and then you just take the difference to see what the Xbox downloads are. So, because the Xbox sales hasn't been revealed. So.
Obviously, a lot of people don't realize is, this is one of those big streaming games. Everyone was streaming this game. And, if you got all these big streamers, where are they going to stream it from? Not Xbox. They're going to stream it off of Steam. So, obviously, it's probably going to sell better on Steam.
Yeah. I mean, Cuphead should win at the worst. The music, I don't know if that's a separate category, but it should win for music alone.
Art design.
I don't know, man. I think I have to give music to Destiny, too.
Yeah. Again, it's going to be tight. It's going to be some people that are upset their favorite game didn't win. But I hope for that studio and for everybody that enjoyed it, I hope it wins something. To me, what I played of it was fun. Unfortunately, I downloaded Life is Strange, and that took everything. I mean, that's one of the best written games I've ever played. So that's where my time's been spent. So, but I'm jumping back into Cuphead next year. But I'll get to it. So
as soon as I'm set in my new place and I got my commute down packed, I'll be back on video games, and hopefully that all happens before November 7th. Like, I'm supposed to be all set in the next couple of weeks, but being a grown up sucks.
They're not winning the year.
But what else happened? We have Activision. Some of their practices have been exposed when it comes to microtransactions, man.
Let me open this one up. So, I made a video about this. Like, how savage is it that you make a matchmaking system to where you put the shitty players against the good players to encourage the bad players to buy microtransactions to level the playing field with the good players? Like that, dude, they got, and they said that this was, this was a patent that was made a couple years ago. It was never implied, and I'm like, then why patent it? Doesn't it cost money to patent shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you have that patent for 2 years and not implement and have not implement. You can't even say. Hold on, let me get this shit out of my mouth. And have not implemented. Wow, I cannot say the word implement. All right,
you eat peanut butter or something?
No, I had like a bottle cap in my mouth, like.
You got a bottle cap,
like a spoonful of peanut butter.
Yeah. So who does that? It's like that sounds like something Activision will do, man. Every time I think of Activision, I think of a butthole. Like for real. I don't know. I cannot stand them, dude. Like I can't stand them. Who does that?
Publisher out there.
Oh, they all do it. Just Activision shit just leaked. They all do it.
No, but Activision be that person that be like, a lot of these companies want to keep it on the down low. They don't want no one knowing. But Activision's like, fuck it. Like, what are you guys going to do? You're still buying Call of Duty. You're still buying Destiny. You ain't not buying this shit because of our shitty practices. Like, if they implied this matchmaking system in Destiny, I mean, I'm still gonna buy the game. Like, that don't mean nothing because I'm not shit at Destiny. They're gonna put bad players against me, not the other way around. It's not bothering me.
Well, that goes along the lines is like how when people say, "Oh, you don't have to buy them if you don't want to," all these things are going on to influence the game development and balance it. So that's why even though people are like, "Well, you don't have to buy the loot boxes; they're just there as an option." No, they're there for a reason, and they're gonna try to make the game. You won't see it apparently. If you do, then you'll get the outrage on Twitter about it. But they are all putting underlying kind of things that balance that out to make you buy them. They're not just putting loot boxes in there and say, "Oh, nobody's going to buy them. We're not going to make money on these things. Just put stupid stuff in the loot boxes." No, they're going to put desirable stuff, and they're going to make you want it. Yeah. And you know, they have to entice you. That's why I asked that question a couple of weeks ago about how I think, and you know, don't get on me for this one, but Sea of Thieves is in the beta because I think they're watching what people are doing so they know where to put the money. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see what people do and see. Let's measure the behavior. Let's see what they do. And then that's why it's so secretive. Why it's in beta. You can't stream it because they didn't find out where to put the hooks yet. I'm telling you.
But here's the thing about Sea of Thieves, right? Sea of Thieves is what, online only. We don't even know if it's going to be a free to play. If Sea of Thieves
it's a service game. It's a service game. So it's a service game.
Service game. So what does that mean? Like we don't.
Oh, that means you're not going to pay $60 and play it and have a big smile on your face. They're going to be little.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's
it's kind of it's going to have the same kind of, you know, I would say the same kind of map that something like Destiny would have, where they're going to sell you stuff later on for the foreseeable future every like 4 to 6 months.
Yeah,
we don't know what it is. That's the whole thing about that game.
That's the problem with this game. Like,
and
no one knows what it is. And what's funny is people
criticize. Yeah, that's
people will talk shit about this game. But I've been to E3 the past 2 years, and the biggest lines is always fucking Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, it's fun if you're with a bunch of people, but if you're just on a boat with 3 randoms, oh my goodness, you just take the boat and leave the people on the island.
They actually implied littler boats in the game for smaller groups.
Yes, I saw that. Like, yeah, now they're doing it for small groups. Because the thing is that like there was a boat in the distance, and I was like, let's fight that boat, you know. And then the guy just kept riding his boat. So what I tried to do was jump off the boat and swim to the other one, and I kept getting rescued by the mermaid or the merman. Or the
what?
There's a guy that saves you if you just jump overboard, so you can teleport back to your boat.
Oh, Aquaman's in the game. Okay.
Yeah, it's Aquaman or something like that. But you know,
okay.
As long as I don't have to pay for him to teleport me to the boat.
Oh yeah,
that's what it's gonna come to. Man.
I'll leave you in the ocean.
That's what it's gonna come to. It's like, oh, you seem to have fell off your boat for the small price of 99 cents. We'll teleport you back on your boat.
Yeah, swim to the nearest shoreline.
Now they're gonna send you like a package with multiple teleportation, like
you'll have people damage control that will get good. If you wouldn't fall off your damn boat, you wouldn't need to spend the $1.
Careful when you're jumping.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I am almost done with World 2 and Cuphead for those interested. Okay, almost done. But anyway, other than that, I do feel like, good thing you guys brought up Cuphead. You know those games that Xbox announced for like spring 2018? That was Cuphead, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown? Am I the only one that believe if they don't get a release date in the next 75 days, it's not coming out before E3?
I think, what game?
Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3.
I think Crackdown's getting delayed.
Delayed or canceled?
No, it's getting delayed. They would never cancel this game. They will spend any kind of amount of money they have to make sure none of those games get canceled. I can almost guarantee you.
What about that other game they showed at E3? Not Cuphead. I'm sorry, Metro. That game had a giant rat on it. I want to like beat that rat or do something. So is that got a release date yet?
Wait,
but that's a multiplayer game.
That's a multiplayer game.
They didn't say anything about it. They just showed the trailer to it.
What game?
Metro, the new Metro game.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's
definitely not getting. I just don't think that they'll cancel it. I think that they will. they'll literally do whatever they can to make sure that game comes out. I mean, it could come out completely busted, fucked up, doesn't play right. It's the worst game ever been made. I mean, they could, but I don't think they'll cancel it. I think they will get worse backlash if the game comes out messed up and doesn't work than they would if the game got canceled.
I'm trying to find the channel off the interview. Do you hear the 3 questions that she asks when they were just asking her? This goes into her interview about why Scalebound was canceled, and there were 3 questions that they ask about every game, and if they answer no to any of those questions, then the game is not like that's what happened with Scalebound. She said.
All right, wait, what happened? So go ahead.
I will try to get the questions. Hold on, I'm trying to get a Game Informer interview.
And what else is there? Hey, I had a question for the Pope.
Yes, my son.
Will you be giving birth to an Xbox One X?
What? You could have said it in a different way, man. Like, that was a little creepy.
That's a legitimate question. No, not based on what I saw at E3. Not for half a grand. That's not when you're just going to show a majority of multi-plat games. I mean, look, like you all about the Metro game. That game was shown on the Xbox stage, so was Code Vein. Now, it's disappointing to have to watch. I watch Tokyo Gaming Show, and I see actual physical gameplay of Code Vein on a PlayStation. I certainly work in.
I'll admit that was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, people should still go buy the game. I'm going to certainly buy the game, but I work in a city where Amazon's their U.S. headquarters is at, where majority of the shipping in the United States comes out of my city, and I can report that the Xbox X has gone from the sort pick pallets. They will start picking them next week. They'll move them to be ready to be shipped. So everybody should get excited. I'm happy for the people that are buying it. I just don't I got an Xbox One S, and it's doing a lot of the same stuff. It plays UHD Blu-rays, it upscales the games, and I have a PlayStation Pro, and if I want to do native 4K and dynamic 4K and checkerboard at 4K, I can do that right now. But I think everybody should be excited about it, and I certainly hope the people that are buying it enjoy it.
Yeah,
definitely. I saw too that the some of the launch, some of the released people are getting some notification from Amazon that they're not going to get it on the 7th.
Oh yeah. Shit! Good thing I reserved mine at GameStop.
Yeah, and you still can. I think there was another site, newwin.com. You can still get the Project Scorpio one. That was available like a month ago or something like that. It was weird. It's just I give Phil Spencer credit. I give Michael Packner credit because Michael Packner predicted he didn't know how much it's going to move, probably low numbers, and of course he gets attacked. And then Phil Spencer comes out, I guess, about 3 or 4 days ago and says, yeah, not expecting it to do huge numbers. Think the Xbox One S is going to do bigger numbers. It's like,
he's been saying that since they announced it last year, though. Yeah, that was always been his answer for that. Yeah.
And the other thing too is just to go back to what you were saying about the Xbox One S. Like, it does do the HDR and it does do the UHD play.
Yeah.
Okay, upscaling that they mentioned last year is not the same that this thing does. Like, they kind of use that 4K upscaling as a way to saying, like, that it has the better HDMI port and it doesn't do 4K upscaling, because definitely the games are still it even make a difference, really. The extra RAM that they put in, even in Digital Foundries, they don't even find it as something as comparing the S to the original Xbox. But my issue with the S is that because of the lack of really games to drive the system sales this holiday that they have, like, that only could be playable on an Xbox family, I'm going to call it from now, or the Windows family. Yeah. But I think that the bundles that they put together, which that came out too, was that they have the Halo Master Chief and Halo 5 bundle, they have a Rocket League bundle, they have a Minecraft bundle, and then they have one that just has Game Pass for 3 months. And I think that, and they're $279, so they are under what the PlayStation is at $300. But I think that they're kind of they're a little lazy. Now I know they also have a 1 terabyte, I think, Shadow of War one, which I haven't really seen advertised that much, and apparently an Assassin's Creed one I thought too, but the low ones I don't have confidence that S is going to sell, and I think that goes along. And shout out to Porter Rock, because he kind of says this too, is that the thing is that the S is not really going to, I don't think the S is really going to carry Xbox this holiday. I think it's the X that is, all the people that are just, want the power are going to use the X, but I don't think the S has enough. They haven't really done enough for the S to really keep it going.
I think those bundles is going to be enough for the S to do what it needs to be doing.
Yeah,
if they drop it, they got to drop it though. Those
as long as it's like as long as they at like $200, they'll be all right.
Nah, I think even unless it's Black Friday, I think $279 is going to be fine for those.
But there's going to be a $300 PlayStation Slim Star Wars bundle. There's going to be a Call of Duty.
Okay, but
Star Wars
Mom and Pop gonna walk in GameStop and be like, "What's that Game Pass?" You'll be like, "What's $100?" It's 100 games. Like, I have that for 3 months, dude. It's gonna matter. It's gonna be relevant. I'm telling you.
Well, the main thing that's relevant is
somebody to tell me that Game Pass. I don't trust the Best Buy employee.
I understand what was like the big deal. Everybody was like, "Oh, the PS4 Pro is going to drop in price, and all these new Pro bundles are like $50 more than the initial price." I don't see that as a price drop.
Well, you know what they do is that they announce all these bundles now, and then come November or something like that, they would just say, "All right, $40 off all bundles," and then everything drops. Like, so I think the price drops will happen.
Yeah, but the Battlefront 2 bundle comes out November 17th. They is going to release one week and then go on sale the next week?
So they might just say, well, I don't know. I think that they'll drop the price. I know Xbox does that. PlayStation, I think, has cut, they just do a general price cut across all bundles, which means, those consoles that were $3 or $440 now are $450, or they'll do maybe a $430 price drop to it, and then the $400 PS Pro will be $450. I don't know, but they usually announce all their bundles now, and then they'll just do like a Black Friday kind of like slice the deal on it, like just like $30 across everything.
Yeah, I really don't. If I'm Sony, and I'm not Sony, but if I am, you don't really have to do a heck of a whole lot. The Star Wars bundle is going to move in bulk. I know several people that they could care less about a pixel count. They are just Star Wars fans, and they're going to buy that bundle. They'll take that whole box down to Star Wars Celebration, and they'll try to get some of the actors and actresses to sign the box. They're collectors, and I don't think that's a great looking PlayStation.
Yeah, I thought their first Battlefront bundle was the shit. I thought that shit was like tight, man.
Vader. That's it. It's all you need.
This one's kind of lazy as hell, and this Call of Duty one looks kind of ugly as well. So
yeah, it's that camo one.
Yeah, the camo one. But because the Inferno Squad, that story with the Inferno Squad is now Star Wars canon. The Inferno Squad symbol is now canon, and that's the only place you can get that thing is on PlayStation.
Because it's not a traditional Star Wars. Because I was like, who is that? Is that like, I didn't even know who the hell those symbols were. I'm like, that's the dark side. Like, who is that from the new movie? But so that's unique to the story that is part of the Star Wars canon. Oh yeah, so that's collector. That's a collector item.
Yeah,
the Star Wars.
That's going to move. But I agree that. But as far as I personally think the S, just based on everything, is based on price. And when mom goes into the store and sees Xbox One S for $199 or $249, and Xbox X for $99.99,
no game.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer what's getting bought. So and that's, again, Microsoft has those analytical numbers, and they can see this is where things are going. So and again, that's fine. I mean, you get two consoles out there, everybody can get what they want. And the main thing for Microsoft, is people haven't noticed, is that they want you in their ecosystem no matter what. However they got to get you, they're going to get you. So, and that's just the way they're moving with it now, guys. It's like I said, people are wanting them to be the Microsoft of, old, and that Microsoft's gone. They're never going to be that Microsoft again. As far as the Xbox, but that they're done. The Xbox, OG Xbox, sold like 26 million. This Xbox is out now is sold roughly 30. So the Xbox 360 is an outlier. it's something that they probably caught them off guard. So let's just see what this one does. I mean, I think it'll do decent numbers. Have to wait and see if it does good on whatever this NPD thing. We'll know in December how they did. I think Nintendo's going to win NPD, but there's no money in my pocket.
But see, I think the thing that nobody really spoke about was how the S was so sold really one NPD actually for last year for was it July, August, September, and October, and then ever since November it has just fell off. This is the worst year of hardware sales ever. This has really been bad for the S. The UHD really didn't carry it throughout this year, thinking that you're buying movies and you're buying the player. And so I think everybody's putting so much emphasis on the November, December MPDs, and I think the real thing is kind of fueling some of the fanboy stuff is that Microsoft releases hardware and still loses NPDs. And I think that's the titles that everybody wants to run with. And you know what? The thing is that even if they are successful November, December, I think the longevity of that console, I'm looking at just Xbox as where the hell do they go from here? They don't have these games that they are showing. I'm sorry, Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2. State of Decay 2 is a sequel to an arcade game.
You better watch your mouth, man.
It's gonna be good, but I'm just saying, I feel that a lot of out of us Xbox fans is that what they provide us.
I think you're the minority, man. I think a lot more Xbox fans want.
You know what? I don't care if I'm the minority because this is how I feel. I feel that we are accepting everything that Microsoft gives us as hey, this is what we get, so we gotta say that this is good. I don't like it.
I have never seen anyone just accept it. Everyone has been very vocal this year about the games. Kid Smith, what's the number one thing everyone's talked about this year about Microsoft?
Games.
So how are you saying we just accept it? People have been very vocal
about the 4 games that they show. Everybody's these are the games that keep me here, and those are not enough. Those games suck. They're not.
Okay, you literally have been saying what everyone.
Where's my fucking Halo expansion? Where's my Gears expansion? Where's my Conquer? Where's my Perfect Dark?
Aren't you the stupid shirts of Battletoads? Hold up, aren't you the one that said you don't want just Halo, Gears, and Forza, and now you want them making DLC?
Well, they should have. Well, they should have some DLC. They should have expansions. Expand the world. Let me play something new. Let me play something new from those games. But he said that he was going to explore his IP. So what does he do? He gives me. What does he give you? He gives you the Voodoo Vince in 1080p. He gives you Phantom Dust in the same 400 and not even remastered. But then they remastered Disney Adventure, Kinect, all those old Kinect games. But meanwhile, they don't support the Kinect with the X. They want you to go pay $40 for an adapter. Where are they going with this stuff, man? You know what? They're going to the Windows 10 store. And Xbox.
Oh my God! Again with this Windows shit.
Hey man,
I literally have not seen someone so one-track minded than you in my whole life with this Windows store.
That's it, man. That is the future of Xbox.
I really feel like you feel like that hated stepchild that no one likes, and you're just like, why can't I get with the bigger sister?
They pissed in my cornflakes, and I said it at E3. Whatever the price of the X is, shows me where Microsoft is going. And if it's at $500, they could care less about the console competition, and they care more about Windows. And if it's at $400, they
so just because it's $500, they care more about Windows.
Yes.
Explain. I gotta hear this.
Because the Xbox One X is in development, because that is going to be on par with the PC, so that they could have the transition and not have that dichotomy between PC.
But here's my thing: if it was all about Windows 10, why even make the X?
Hey, you want me to read exactly? That's the question I asked Phil. So here we go. If you define the gaming market as console, and that's all that you're focused on, then maybe an important part of the business consideration, Spencer said, about console exclusives driving system sales, I say one of the reasons PC is so strong is because it's an open platform. Though these things like crossplay we're working on to allow people to play games together regardless of where you bought your games. If you're really about trying to drive just a specific device and say, I just look at gaming opportunity all up as a single device opportunity, maybe that's an approach. But we don't see it that way.
You know what's funny?
Hashtag then releases Xbox One X hardware $500.
Okay, first off, that's way too long of a hashtag. Second off,
I'm going to create it.
Second off, you know what's funny about your whole argument? You say they're only focusing on Windows 10, they're putting Xbox to the backbone. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying what they diluted Xbox and to promote Windows.
Hey, kid,
Yeah.
what if they did more updates towards Xbox or Windows 10?
Xbox.
What?
The updates you get for Xbox are tied into fall creators updates and tied into Windows updates. It's not independent of Windows. You get your update with the creator. You got your spring update.
I just don't get. I don't get your logic. You say that they're really focusing on Windows 10, but they rarely update the store. You're saying they really focus on Windows 10, but every Windows 10 owner says the platform has sucked for the past 8 months. They've never fixed any of it for the most part. I just don't get your logic when it comes to the Windows 10 store. You literally sit around. It's like you sit around in your room and you just look down, you shake back and forth. You're like, why won't they do stuff? Like, I don't get this. Like, what do they need to do for you to feel like they are making a move towards Xbox and not Windows?
An Xbox game.
There's plenty of Xbox games.
No, a game that I only could play on my Xbox.
But you're acting like it's not owned by Microsoft and they have Windows 10.
And what about the Gears of War deal? And when they got that deal, what about the Titanfall deal? All those things. Those were exciting things, right? What deal do you have now? Super Lucky's Tales deal? Super Lucky's Tales? Disney Adventures? Those are the deals that I want to see made when I purchased a console from them. Those are the deals. And let me ask you something else. Why do you think Master Chief Collection is being fixed now? Why do you think that? You think because they care? All of a sudden people in Halo care?
Also, you think they're putting that on Windows now?
Hell damn yeah, they are putting that on Windows.
You think Master Chief Collection is going to Windows because they're doing the Xbox One X update?
I bet your ass it's going there. Bet your ass it's going to Windows 10. Why would they fix that?
I feel like they would have announced it by now.
Why would they fix it? Why wouldn't they fix it?
We're almost in November. Yeah, fam. They would announce that by now.
No. They're gonna wait to springtime because guess what, guys?
Man, they can always put Halo 5. They can always put Halo 5 on a Windows 10, and they are upgrading
why ain't that on there? Why?
No. You got to build the story.
Explain. No, hold up.
Build a story. Halo 1 and Halo 2 has already been on PC.
Explain to me how every time your logic says that game's going on there just because they're fixing it. Every time they've asked them anything about Halo, they've always sidestepped that. They've never came out and said Halo's coming up for PC, but they'll do everything else. They actually came out and said every Forza game from now on is going to be on PC. Correct? Yes or no?
They did ask him. So they've been trying to get that out of him, and he kind of goes, "Well, if you look at the direction that we're going in, every one of our games will be on both systems on the Windows family." He said it. You know, he not said a Halo specifically, but he does not say no.
Halo 5 came out in 2015.
Why would they fix they're not just giving it enhancements to the Master Chief Collection. They are fixing the multiplayer match.
They needed to fix it.
That's because people
why bother enhancing the game for the X if you're not going to fix it for us to play?
It's not been fixed yet.
So why else enhance the game? Why enhance the game for the X if you're not planning to fix the multiplayer itself? It would be pointless to enhance it if you're not going to fix it.
Because did you see how they're doing it? Spring is a beta, and they're going to try to get feedback.
Oh my God, Spring is a beta. Oh.
Yeah, Spring. It's not coming out in spring. Your enhancements are not coming in spring. Spring is when they're going to launch the program, and they're going to wait for feedback, back and forth. And they said, Bonnie said, this is a very arduous
task. When did the Master Chief come out? 2014.
Well, what?
Whoa. The fuck? My bad, guys. I don't know. My internet just did something stupid. Hold on. Hold up, guys. Hold on. Hold up. What the fuck? This is why I can't fucking stand Google Chrome, dude.
Like the Xbox brand's gonna die because they're doing it.
They're backing out, man. They're backing out.
I just don't think that. I think there's a landscape
All right.
Look, guys, there's a reason why they want to do crossplay with Sony and Nintendo, and you gotta just use deductive reasoning. There's reasons why they're at an executive level. I can see some of the fans online, whatever, be Twitter, Instagram, whatever, saying, "Yeah, we want crossplay," but my God, when you got Ibarra and Greenberg.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but when the podcast was going, like my Chrome browser just said, fuck you, and it went away. It like literally shut us down. Like, so all this conversation you guys were having, I had to jump back into the call and get it. So I missed you at some point. So if you guys can like rewind like 90 seconds.
They're just gonna have to hold that out. I'm not rewinding.
Well,
this conversation's going nowhere. We're just gonna argue this conversation.
Right.
And I've been looking at the chat. Why ain't nobody said anything?
Because I think it's probably like some sort of delay, maybe. Who knows?
Delay.
Yeah, delay between when this happened and never mind, I'm bugging.
All right, so I think they heard that I thought that Master Chief Collection is going to Windows 10.
So you think it's going to PC?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
I think it's a gold mine. I think it's a
Halo
gold
6.
mine. You put that on the
I don't
Windows
think
10.
they're going to focus on that.
Well, aren't they putting like AR? And there's some Halo game. Is it AR going to?
Oh yeah, that got an exclusive for those 5 headsets that they released. That got a Halo exclusive.
Almighty said that we heard all that. They heard all that.
Oh, they did.
They heard it. And again, my point is that if there's a reason why, like you guys were just saying, if they want to tear down walls, and that's important for them going forward. They're not looking at next year, 2 years from now. They're looking 5 to 7 years from now, and it's better for them to have cross-play. That way everybody can play together. That helps them. Yeah. And I just don't think there's going to be a ton of new IP. As far as the price of Xbox X, it's going to come down next year because Xbox traditionally has always come down. You know, at E3, they'll have some sale, even if it's just the week of E3, it'll be whatever, $4.49 with a game or something like that. So, but ultimately, yeah, I agree. $500 for what? For me personally, I just thought that was too much for multi-plat games and, you know, maybe a game or two that comes out only for the Xbox. I think that would help it. A big title like Randall Thor, shout out to him, has been talking about Splinter Cell. Yeah, that'll really get, I think, a lot of people moving towards that console. It's got to be console only, even if it's just for 90 days, you know, make it a console only game.
No. It's not happening anymore.
I know.
And that's the thing. Like you ask why I get upset. It's because everybody thinks that they're gonna get winks of the old Microsoft. It's not happening anymore. And when when Chief goes to, and I'm not saying you, because I'm saying like everybody that goes, like when Master Chief goes to Windows, people are gonna lose their shit and they're gonna be like, hey guys, this is what we've been saying. Phil does not care where you buy this game. It is a gold mine over there. And when I saw Master Chief, I'm like, that's great. Update it. It needs to be updated. That is a great collection. That thing's amazing. Yeah. But I thought about it and I was like, oh, it's going to go to Windows 10. And you want to know what? Let it go to Windows 10.
No,
the thing is
that
I'm
very vocal when stuff goes to Windows 10, and they ain't said shit about this game going to Windows 10
because they're selling the Xbox X. They're not going to say it now. They'll say it in the springtime when they delay those games.
Mid-October. They haven't even talked about the Master Chief Collection really.
Bonnie Ross said everything about the Master Chief Collection. She said it's going to be an arduous task, and she said that they're going to start the beta in the spring 2018, and it's going to be some sort of program, like a beta, and basically they're going to use the feedback from the people to see how it goes, and then they'll release it up an update. And she said that's a very challenging task. I think
the Master Chief Collection really hurt the Halo brand.
But it's so old.
It doesn't matter.
Why are they coming back now, though? They just 5 is the feather in the cap. Like, why are they going back now? It's because
the Xbox One X.
Yes, what they're doing is scraping the bat, and this.
So you're thinking they're using the X as a beta tester to bring it to Windows 10? That's what you're pretty much saying.
Yeah.
Even though they have Halo 5 Forge to do that.
Well, Halo 5 Forge is already there, so guess what? You do the Master Chief
Halo 5
still not there. You get that whole audience on Windows 10 excited for Halo 6 because now they know the story, because that audience has not been tapped into with Halo.
Yes, they need to invest into a tinfoil hat and give to him.
But don't you see that they're recycling all their old stuff?
Yeah, you know why they're doing that? All right.
They're being very cheap.
They are. All right, Jez, I do want to point that out.
Wait, it's already on PC.
I do realize that they're recycling a lot of their old stuff that they came out, and I'm now expecting Sunset Overdrive to get some sort of enhancement and a relaunch for that, and Rise to the Rome as well. Now, only reason why I expect that they're doing that is because one, you got a new console coming that's supposed to show greater power, better looking games and whatnot. They don't have a great lineup of exclusive games or first-party IPs are new. The newest games that they're releasing, other than Forza, were about like $20 to $30 games. So I can understand of why the whole recycling and just bringing light to the older games and re-enhancing them to take advantage of the Xbox One X. I don't think that has anything to do with fucking Windows 10 or anything like that. It's just to make up for the library, that the lack of games that they had for this year coming from their camp.
But Xbox is a Windows 10 device, so if it goes there, if they're spending the money and investment on doing that to these games, they're going to put them on other platforms to sell them. That's the thing. I
don't like. It'd be different if Master Chief Collection was the only game that was getting this treatment. They're doing it with Quantum Break. I mean, there's multiple games they're going back and revisiting. But that's my point. They're going back to multiple games to revisit. So it'd be different if it was just the Master Chief Collection getting this treatment. And they'll be like, oh, well, you know, maybe they'll go to Windows 10. But they're doing multiple games. All their studios are doing this shit.
Oh, shit.
Speaking of that, Jez, have you canceled your Xbox One X pre-order yet?
Not yet. I'm waiting.
What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting for a fucking miracle. That's all I'm waiting for.
There's not a miracle. Just go cancel it, man.
Oh, here, let me read those 3 questions that Shannon Loftus said that.
Cool. Bring them up.
Here they come. She says, because they're asking, how close to being completed was Scalebound when the decision to cancel it was made? We are not really, this is what she says, we are not really talking about the state of gaming. It is the state of the game. It was an incredibly difficult decision to make to discontinue it. Platinum is amazing.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. So she goes, when we make gaming decisions, we ask ourselves, is this the right game? Is it the right time? Is it the right experience? And unless we can answer yes to all 3, we won't continue on with development cycle.
Well, Shannon, they should let us answer that. Like, for the but what's what was the?
So I want to know, how does that apply to Fable? Is this the right game? Fable? Okay, Fable Legends.
Oh, well, because Fable Legends.
That's the reason it got canceled.
No.
Let's be real here. Fable Legends
it was set up like those like MOBA games and whatnot, and it would have
because it was trash.
Somebody had a green like that. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, it missed its mark. If it would have came out when it initially intended to come out, it probably would have been fine. But I enjoyed Fable Legends. I love the way the game looks. Hopefully they use the assets. I hate that Microsoft take these games, cancel them, and do nothing with the assets. I would be doing something with Fable Legends. I'd be doing something with the Scalebound assets. I still think they should take Platinum to court and like sue them broke, because what they did was like kind of fucked up. I hate Platinum games. I will always
think about that. She continues to say, and Platinum is obviously doing great. They came out with Nier Automata, and I thought that was an incredible game. I'm super excited to see what they do next. Not on my platform, hashtag.
It's not what they did. Yeah, Nier was made with Microsoft money.
That's not in there.
I mean, do you expect her to go in on Platinum? Like, that's unprofessional as fuck.
So Kamaya goes in all the time with his un-English speaking ass.
Kamaya
on your system.
Kamaya and her are 2 entirely different scenarios.
Kamaya's short ass. I'll step on him. I can't stand that dude.
Let's be real here. The reason Fable Legends got canned is because no one was playing it. Let's be real. Like, no one was trying the beta. No one was doing any of that.
But the beta was like
We wanted a Fable sequel, not a Fable MOBA. That's the reason that game flopped.
But Fable had your gamer tag all over the screen. You weren't allowed to share it, just like Sea of Thieves. It wasn't an open beta.
But people do play Sea of Thieves. No one was playing.
But you can't share a picture of it because your gamer tag was all over. It was like undercover game.
It was like snitching on yourself if you were.
Yeah.
I played that. I played that game a lot, dude. It was bad.
It wasn't bad. What made the game bad? The only thing that made it bad because it had the Fable name in front of it, and you want Fable, you didn't want Legends.
So I guess it wasn't the right experience then. But let me bring up one thing about Fable. It was the first game to be announced that it was a Windows 10 and Xbox cross-play game. So I'm telling you, this shit to Windows is going to affect our games. It's because if it doesn't work for both platforms, it's not going to work at all. And that, I'm telling you, I want to know how many games were affected because Microsoft was not getting their shit together with Windows 8 to migration to Windows 10. And it wasn't the right time for that game because the Windows 10 store was not ready to go with that shit. Look at the Quantum Break problems.
If anything, that game was canceled because it wasn't being played on Xbox, and so therefore it was canceled on Windows 10.
There was a beta on PC too with it.
I get that, but I guarantee you, over both platforms, there was probably a very, very low amount of people playing it. And at the end, it was on it was on 24/7, like the beta was. It was literally about to be turned into an open beta.
Yeah, it was. They had just introduced.
But they did shut down the whole studio, so maybe there were other things.
Because you were able to spend money in that beta too.
I'm just saying, like that game was the first one for crossplay, and it was that big initiative with it. And I don't know if they could get it to work, and maybe that's why they just said scrap the whole thing.
I just think they scrapped it because no one was showing interest.
How can they show interest when it's a secret beta?
And I didn't see no one talking about this game.
They couldn't. They had NDA. You had to fucking sign your name on an NDA. Like it was an NDA.
I don't remember signing tag on when I played that game.
Yeah, when you registered for it, it said you were under strict NDA, and also you cannot share screenshots of video.
But here's the thing: I didn't even see hype towards the game. I actually do see some towards a hype towards Sea of Thieves. I didn't see.
How can you can't share anything about it?
Okay, your point. People still refer to it. People still socialize the brand. No one was talking about this game at all.
Microsoft cooking gaggle on.
I mean, here's the thing. I thought Fable Legends were good. I'd be happy for them to bring it back if they ever do. I'm curious to see what they do next year, but I'm not. My hopes aren't up. I'm going to enjoy.
Trash game.
I'm going to enjoy my third party. I'm going to enjoy my third party games and my old exclusive in 4K. See how they look. So I'm ready for this upgrade.
They're gonna be like those bugs to the light when you see 4K. You're just gonna be like, oh.
No, I just like the idea of new hardware.
Your new name definitely suits you, Jazz. Grind, because everything grinds your fucking gears.
Oh yeah, it gets me triggered. Yep.
Yeah. I might change my name to Best Spot X. So
please don't.
Let Best Spot X. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the problem with it going to PC. Let it go there. But when that's the priority,
I feel like this entire 30-minute conversation says that my friend is a lie.
No, it's not a lie. It could go there, but not shitting on Xbox. They spent the thing is that if you don't care where people buy your games, then what the fuck did you take us around since 2001 with this Xbox console? Xbox was good because it was not Windows, because it was not part of that bullshit. Well, it was its own thing, and now they're taking the whole brand. They got rid of Xbox Store. It's called the Microsoft Store now, which is wonderful because they don't find value in the Xbox brand. Xbox now has just become a device that sits under your TV. So for everybody thinking that
it's always been Xbox a device that sits under your TV.
Yeah,
it was a console. It was a specific gaming console, and you subscribe.
It's still a gaming console.
Yes, it is.
If you here's the thing, it plays PC games or is PC games playing Xbox games. Here's the thing. I felt, to my knowledge, I feel like PC and Xbox been sharing games since the birth of Xbox.
Yeah.
The thing is, I feel like there's just a growth in PC gamers. It's like, because at the end of the day, it doesn't. No matter how many games are going to go to PC, it's not going to make me say, hey, I'm going to play on PC if I just don't naturally play there. I'll play some games here and there, But I'm not converting my whole library to PC. No. I the thing is, my PC right now is probably due for some maintenance and some upgrades. Me personally, I'm lazy. I'm a casual PC gamer. I built it, but I haven't done anything like a traditional PC gamer to maintain it. And I'm afraid if I was to ever convert, I'm going to have a bad experience relying completely on my PC for that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I know. I understand. You're not going to go to PC. But the thing is that look at what you need to have market penetration. And if you are not penetrating the market with the console, then
hey, I got a quick question.
Where are you going to get the development? Nobody wants to develop for the lowest the lowest common.
It has over 150 Xbox enhanced games. I mean.
Hey, Jazz, I got a quick question for you. I'm very curious on this. Kid, you have a minors in marketing, don't you?
No, I don't.
No, I'm talking to Kid.
I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, Jazz, what school you go to for marketing?
I don't go for marketing. I'm a man of science. Science and technology. So I create hypotheses.
Yeah.
So hashtag you're speaking on stuff you know nothing about. Okay, we're good now. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I experience look at what
I'm just messing with you, man. Calm down. I'm messing with you.
Listen. You want market penetration. Kid Smooth, you want to go tell somebody to go buy an Xbox when they say, hey, I'm going to go buy a PC. All right, fine. The thing is that you need to have market penetration. Nintendo's doing it. Sony's doing it. Everybody works on exclusives to buy your platform, to buy your console. So why Microsoft's not doing it? Because they're now global now. They are thinking
the reason the sales haven't been good here in the past years because they haven't had games, not because it's on Windows 2.
Oh, come on. They had a whole bunch of games in the beginning with no PlayStation, and everybody wondered why the PlayStation was selling so much and winning MPDs.
It's not because it was only on PlayStation. Let's be real here. It's not because it was those games were only on PlayStation.
No, the PlayStation had no games in the beginning. They had all indie bullshit. And the thing is that Microsoft was dropping their Halo, their Gears, their Tomb Raider, all their games. They had all these games, and I remember going, how the hell is they not? Why the hell is Xbox not selling? These are all their games. We have games. Sony does not have any games. They had The Order, which was a 4-hour thing. Actually, it was pretty good, but it was people completed in 4 hours. The thing was that Sony had no games on there, but people knew when Sony announced the game. Why do you think people were crying in the audience? Because they know that game was coming, and only to that. Well, Microsoft had all these games, so why was it not selling? I don't know.
Well, it was $100 more. That's it.
It was weak.
A lot of the time, when it comes to this competition with two brands, it's who has a better going out the gate first. Because once you build up that hype and you're the hottest product, sometimes it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, Xbox had more games. The problem Xbox had was that it was $100 more. I mean, it being weaker was
only $100 more for like 6 months.
Well, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter because once that wildfire started spreading, where you have I think they said every 5 person. I mean, okay, the most audience, they're going to get their friends to get their platform, and it just kept going and kept going and kept going. That's the reason that it started selling the way it did. It was word of mouth. All their friends are getting PlayStations
because it was $100 cheaper.
That's my point. They were better out of the gate because of that.
Yes, and Microsoft they're right. They had what? They had Forza at launch. They came out there with that orange McLaren. I mean, they had Forza. They showed.
Forza, Dead Rising 3, the best looking game on console, which was Rise Son of Rome. They had. So their price killed them. I mean, I don't care when they came out, when Sony came out and said we're going to be $100 cheaper, it was over. Okay, it didn't matter because the consoles were doing the same thing. They both played Blu-rays, they both played games.
It would have been different. Microsoft.
Well, look, and remember, mommy walked into that store and saw $399 versus $499 and said, "Oh no, son, you're getting this."
Well, I don't necessarily think it was like the casuals that did that. Most casual people don't buy systems the first year it comes out, but I think it wasn't just one thing. Microsoft had so many things against it when it first came out. It had the reveal. It had the always online, the block use games. It had all this shit together, and then it was like that, dude barely can stand because he's got all this on his shoulders, on his back, and they put that $100 price tag, and he just collapsed. It was way too much to have a good, successful launch.
Yeah,
and now they're doing it again at $500.
It had a lot of mitigating factors, but ultimately,
it was the price that did it.
Yeah, but Gaming Addict, you can get past that if the price is nice. Okay,
well, see, I get that, but by the time you get to the system revealing, everyone's already decided what they're buying, and for the most part, can we not agree? Day one buyers of these consoles are hardcore.
Yeah, I bought two of them.
Once
Kiss moves right.
There's a reason that people say, first impressions. Microsoft got demolished with first impressions with the Xbox.
I don't disagree, but Kiss moves right. 5 to 6 months after that launch, which was too long. They dropped the price and bam, they won.
Yeah, they kept forcing that Kinect. They kept saying the Kinect is in the box for this, but they had no games for the Kinect. And even Phil Spencer, a year later, when he was under the helm, still was pushing for Kinect. Said, Kinect games.
You can look at it from the perspective.
I'm going to give you a little video clip. And I want you guys to hear this because I have a comment on this video saying, this is the person I listen to. I am buying an Xbox. And you tell me what it says. So let's play it.
No, it's cool. We'll do that in a second. I mean,
okay.
It's like Randolph Thor said, and I completely agree with him. The number one thing that messed up the Xbox this generation, is the Kinect. The Kinect fucked everything up. They had to make the price more expensive because of the Kinect. There's probably a lot. The overall system was weaker because of the Kinect, because they didn't want to make the price of the overall console more expensive than it was. The Kinect ruined the entire generation from the Microsoft brand.
But Rise, Son of Rome, was a launch game, and it's still considered one of, if not the best looking.
I mean, I wasn't really going in on the overall power. It was just a factor. That's all I was saying. I personally.
Yeah, okay. I think it was mitigating because people didn't really understand about the whole power until
the gaming media got a hold of it.
Actually, the power thing started from the beginning about the RAM.
Yeah, the power started like September, October.
No, actually, it was at E3 of their reveal. And I have the video right here because I'll tell you right now. Can I share my screen? Actually,
sure.
It depends. What are you trying to play? We don't want to get copyrighted.
No, it's a YouTube video from Rev Games. It's an interview without.
That is definitely copyright material.
Yeah.
All right.
That's obsessed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear it? Can I hear it then? I just want to play with his little clip.
Play.
Can you hear it?
No.
You have to share your screen, man. How long?
He can just put his mic closer to the.
I just want to put my mic to the.
Do that.
See if this works. I hear it through my headset. Damn. Oh, hey, no, so I'll fix it.
What is going on in the comment section, man?
There's two people fighting.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Hearing that the clouds are sort of offset what those differences are, but the cloud.
Can't hear it.
Oh wait, no.
Turn it off.
Hold on.
I mean, we know what the RAM is.
Wait.
You guys got the layoff Halo.
There it is.
My dude. You got the layoff of him in the comment section.
Shit. The point with that is what was the decision to go with?
That's useless. I can't hear that, so I know for sure they can't hear that.
Actually put you at a deficit, and then how? I keep on hearing that the cloud can sort of offset what those differences are, but the cloud, by its very name, sounds kind of ephemeral. If you wouldn't mind elaborating there.
Sure, that's a great question. I was famously chastised for saying in an interview once that comparing hardware specs was meaningless. And the point with that is the people that are speculating on this are not our hardware engineers, and we're not Sony's hardware engineers. They're doing things in their hardware to make it the best that they can. We're doing things in our hardware to make it the best that we can. I don't believe that the difference between these two platforms is significant as comparing individual components. I'm a big car fan. How is it that a 300 or 400 horsepower Porsche can be faster than a 700 horsepower Corvette? It's balance. There's different things you put in the system to make the performance the same, but you make different trade-offs. When it comes to RAM, they've made one decision on RAM, we've made another. We have ESRAM, which is very fast. It allows the developers to have a small cache very quickly. We have a very balanced architecture. We've done a lot of custom things in the silicon to reduce the number of bottlenecks. So every component that we have is running at peak performance. when I look at these games, I don't see a difference. And I know there's a lot of people that want to compare those things on paper and say that these individual components, but to me, it comes down to the games. It comes down to the experiences. And I look at games like Rise, I look at Forza, I don't see anything better on a competing platform than what I'm seeing there.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, we heard it. What was that for? I'm sorry.
That was E3 20, the launch of E3 when they announced the Xbox.
Yeah, no, but what was that for? I didn't understand why that was.
Oh, why was I playing that?
Yeah.
Well, because he was saying that wait a second, I'm gonna do the thing. Because he was saying that first off that the power argument was back then. That we were talking about when the power started. It was back then.
Yeah.
When they talked about the RAM. So like they went into this and they announced that $500 at that conference.
Yeah,
and they were justifying it.
AKA that dude was like, "You guys ain't engineers. Shut the fuck up." That's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much.
My whole point is that,
RAM. Tell me the future of that. It's gone now.
My whole point is that little Miss Susie walking in with snot-nosed Tommy don't give two rats' asses about ES rank.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, but I was referring
all
to
she
year
wants
one.
to see is the price. All she saw was price. I mean, they've already come out and said, yeah, the price, because like Kid Smooth's right. As soon as they dropped the price, 6 months later, their console started moving. Is that a coincidence? It still had
it's the price. The price,
and he pulled Kinect out of the box.
Well, that's fine. But
I was saying, I mean, I was just saying the Kinect attributed to the price. It attributed to the power. Yeah. It was literally the cancer to the entire product.
All right.
Yeah, it didn't help. But you know, they had didn't they have was it Steven Spielberg? Didn't he personally vouch for the Kinect? He thought that was the way things were going.
Everybody vouched for the Kinect. Yeah. Scientists, NASA, hospitals. Like, come on, they all vouch for the Kinect. Like,
yeah. Just like,
So, I mean, if you know, I can see why they would want to try it. But, I just think,
I mean, I understand seeing why they would try it, but I don't understand why they would bet everything on it.
Yeah, that was the problem because they caught lightning in a bottle once with the original Kinect for the 360. It sold 10 million in like what, a month or so. It was a big deal. So they thought, that it was very popular and that it could help launch the Xbox One and it didn't. So it was a mistake. They should have kept it separate. They didn't. Let's move on. Because I'm getting tired.
Well, they're not including the adapter promotion with the X.
That's fine. Fuck the adapter. Nobody liked the Kinect anyway. Like why? Like why is it now a big deal to people?
Cameras, so you could use that.
Yeah, I use my webcam now. I'm gonna buy a separate webcam just for the X2. Just like I'm gonna use.
Does the microphone work on it? Like same thing?
Not that I know of. But I like my Brio. I'm gonna get the Logitech Pro. I'm gonna try to stream more with that and have that convenient feature. But I was begging for the addition of third-party webcams. Is working, and that's why I'm not worried about this whole VR things. If you guys want those damn Windows VR, they're gonna be able to plug right into your Xbox pretty soon. Yeah. So
it's great news.
It was a minute before we talked about 2013. Okay, that was covered eventually.
Yeah. But you guys, I'm ready to get out of here. I didn't eat, dude. I want to thank you guys to all those who joined us, all the people in the chat. I know this was more of a surprise show since we didn't do our traditional show yesterday, but I think I'm gonna be going on Wednesdays from now on. There won't be a show November 1st. Okay, I'll be out of commission. I don't know if my internet's gonna be up on November 1st, but we will be here. I think next week is October 25th. We'll be here next week, and then we'll be back for the Xbox One X launch. See how Jez is feeling, and maybe we will have our boy the Pope in here again. So we'll see.
Thank you, sir.
I might try to see if we can get Mr. Heartache in here for the launch of the Xbox One X.
Oh yeah, Heartache. Yes, definitely. And I think the chat, like, people are like losing their mind in the chat. I'm sorry if it was hostile. I don't know where the mods are at.
There's like what the hell is this? Like Japanese, Chinese text and what the hell's going on?
Yes, to Rodiza. Yes, Smooth. Why are we doing Wednesdays? All right, we're doing Wednesdays because we're getting our ass kicked in views by RDX podcast, and I kind of want to move out of that that shitstorm of like where you guys are like tuning in.
Multiple criticisms saying to leave that because
no, actually, I'm that's not actually the absolute reason why we're moving from Tuesdays.
It does have a huge significant relevance though.
It has a relevance, but it's not the reason that I'm moving to. I'm only moving from Tuesdays because I'm the move that I'm making. And the stuff, the things that we have to do on Tuesday won't allow me to be home in time to do the show at the time that I want. It will be like a late show, so I'd rather just move it from Tuesday to Wednesday. So that's why I was gonna start in November, but I started now because I just had a rough week, and I was like, I'd rather get on it now. So we'll see. But any questions? Any other questions? While we're like freelancing.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
All right. So Planet Xbox is apparently one of the most underrated podcasts. I appreciate that. That means somebody likes it. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 19.
Are we ever going to get Kofi on Planet Xbox?
Eventually, when he starts talking, and once his attitude gets better.
Actually, I don't think technically he's allowed to talk about Xbox. Actually.
I went on Kofi's podcast. You got to come over here now.
Yeah, Kofi owes me royalties for that.
That's it. He was royalty. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
well, hold on. Who else got you? Who else? You was on 2 podcasts because I even talked to Kid. I was like, they snatching Jazz up,
snatching me up.
No.
That's why I changed my name.
No. People can't get enough of that Xbox criticism. They need
I love
man.
Xbox, man. That's the thing. I love the Xbox.
That's subjective.
I just don't. I get triggered when they do stupid things.
Man.
I get triggered.
All right, go ahead. Do the closing statement.
Do your closing statement. All right,
I'll
go.
do mine last.
All right, last, nigga. I do mine's last. Like, come on, man. You got me dropping the N-word and shit. Like, what the fuck? Like,
well, you act like I made you say that. Are you serious?
You sort of subconsciously did. It's like you had. All right, Jez, please.
Someone just said Jez is a white Jimmy.
Oh goodness! All right, this is Jez7780 on Twitter. Go follow me over there. Also known as Grinds My Gears. Sign off.
All right, Pope, please.
I'm gonna have a sound.
Thank you, Smooth. I do appreciate the vine again. This is Craig Harris, the honorary Pope of Xbox. Come check me out on the Porch Light Pod. And as we're going to be going over some more gaming stuff, PlayStation 5 rumors are starting to get smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire. So but I appreciate the being here, guys. I appreciate the hospitality, and you guys are welcome anytime on my podcast. Just keep it gaming. It's good.
The reason why the PlayStation 5 rumors are coming up because they want to take attention away from Naughty Dog's tickling buttholes. So,
oh my god!
Oh, I thought you said it before the Xbox. That's
a little bit too much. Okay.
I thought it was about consoles. I didn't know about tickling buttholes.
Yeah.
All right, Addict man, let them know.
What's up, you guys? Thanks for coming out. Definitely hit that like button if you guys don't mind. Definitely Sunday at 11 a.m. Catch the Iron Lords podcast. I'm also the co-host over there. Go check out. I was a guest last week on the Basement Radio Arcade podcast. Great group of guys. Go over there and check them out. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate it. Peace. Oh, and definitely catch my Shadow of War streams.
Yeah, check that out.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. And once again, thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure. You can catch this show on iTunes and SoundCloud if you prefer to listen to it that way. Otherwise, check this back on YouTube. Add this to your playlist and your like list. As I always say, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We out of here. Peace.